Hey everyone, and welcome to another GameCast review. I'm Mark, otherwise known as Koei, and today I'll be reviewing Dissidia NT, now available for the PlayStation 4. Dissidia NT is basically a Japanese arcade fighter with a Final Fantasy flair. It's a 3v3 arena fighter where each team has a predetermined life stock level. Lose your stock and you lose the match. It's a simple but effective system for Japanese arcades and has had varying degrees of success in console ports like the Gundam Vs series. It mixes the systems present in most other arcade arena fighters with the unique bravery and HP systems of the original PSP Dissidia games. Basically, your attack power is determined by your bravery, a constant shifting number value that can be added to and detracted from by landing and receiving hits. Bravery can be expended as a bulk total to deal actual HP damage to your opponent. This resets your bravery total and also leaves you temporarily vulnerable, as if your bravery drops below 0, your opponent gets a boost to their own bravery, and you'll be unable to deal damage until your starting bravery value recovers. If that was confusing, I don't really blame you, as it's a system that makes a lot more sense in practice. Once you get the hang of things, it becomes a bit of a tug of war between points as you try to eliminate foes in one well-placed strike. Each playable character has multiple bravery attacks and 1 HP attack per encounter. Your HP attack can be swapped outside of battle. However, it feels very limiting, as if you chose the wrong attack for the map or opponent, you'll often find yourself just chasing behind your opponents for the full round duration. It's frustrating at times because there wasn't any kind of restriction like this in the previous games. In the older games, you could chain multiple Brave and HP attacks together to create some amazing combos. In NT, the combat feels very stilted and the invincibility frames on recovery can be pretty absurd. You can also customize your fighters with a number of EX skills. These are earnable extra moves that can help give you a bit of edge in battle, like boosting your team's attack or sharing around your bravery to prevent an unnecessary break. Furthermore, each character has a unique EX skill that has a longer cooldown than the equipable sword. These skills can range from very special bravery attacks, form changes that boost stats or change your moves, and area debuffs. It's an interesting system, but it's almost too easy to be knocked out of your EX skills, so it's best not to rely on them too heavily. The summon system from previous Dissidias has changed as well. Instead of a gigantic selection of summons from Final Fantasy's long history, instead you'll select from a small pool of unlockable core summons like Bahamut and Shiva. Throughout each battle, special cores will appear somewhere in the arena. Damaging a core fills your summon gauge, and destroying a core greatly boosts the gauge. Filling the meter gives you an opportunity to call on your chosen summon. This can be interrupted as well, but if your whole team is on board, the wait time is almost non-existent. Once your summon enters the fray, they'll wreak havoc across the arena and leave your opponent vulnerable. They can definitely turn the tide of battle, so it's something to keep an eye on, especially if the opponent is trying to summon as well. There are also alternate battle modes like Core Attack and Story Trials. In Core Attack, you are tasked with both attacking the enemy's core and defending your own. It's an interesting concept, as if anyone is within range of their team's core, that makes the core impervious to attacks, which then leads to small one-on-one skirmishes, trying to lure enemies away or just eliminating them, as you would in a regular fight. It's a nice enough distraction, but it doesn't evolve too much, and a good defending team will just leave the game at a standstill. Finally, there are Story Trials. These are small gauntlets where you are tasked with playing as specific teams, thus vaguely reflecting the story mode itself. This mode can get annoying quickly, as some characters are definitely better than others. Furthermore, the summon battles themselves feel very unfair and broken. It's hard to stagger summons, and they can use HP attacks with such frequency that the game feels unfinished. Like it was an idea they had at a board meeting, but no one ever tried the fights themselves. Outside of battle, you'll gain levels, gil, and treasures. Levels unlock new skills and voice lines. Gil can be spent on costume songs and other cosmetics. And treasures are Dissidia's loot box system, which doles out 3 random cosmetics or songs. These are easily earnable, but it seems a bit unnecessary, as it could have easily been removed while the amount of gil you earn is increased. But as long as you don't pay real money, then it's fine. Dissidia NT doesn't tell the best story ever. For the most part, it's very similar to the story we've experienced before, with Cosmos and Chaos waging war on each other with their chosen heroes and villains. However, this time the gods are different. Now you fight with Materia and Spiritus, the latest incarnations of Order and Chaos. Most of the warriors retained their memories of previous battles, and thus don't spend any time at all trying to keep the player up to speed. So if you absolutely must know what's going on, it's recommended that you play the PSP games. The story does have its fair share of twists and turns, and the branching structure of the narrative is nice. However, it still isn't all that deep, and serves more as fan service, as you get to see your favourite Final Fantasy characters interact with each other in HD. The entire story mode ended up souring me on the whole thing due to the way you progress through it. For each main node on the story network, you must spend 1 Memoria, a special currency earned through leveling up and successfully finishing a gauntlet of 6 battles. Each node is usually a small cutscene that leads to another cutscene or battle. So for each cutscene of around 2 to 3 minutes, you'll spend around 10 to 20 minutes earning 1 Memoria. Multiply this by around 30 or so and there's your story mode. It's really annoying and breaks the flow of the narrative constantly. But if there's one area that Dissidia NT excels at, it's presentation. This game is absolutely gorgeous. Character models are lovingly detailed, each arena has a distinct feel, and the summons are beautifully animated. The game looks like a pre-rendered cutscene, making its actual pre-rendered cutscenes look like something out of this world. It's just a joy to behold. Many special moves and attacks have been lifted right out of the original games, but now they look and flow even better, even if you can't directly chain into HP attacks. Much like Dragon Ball FighterZ before it, all of Dissidia's offline modes flow well, however when you take the fight online, you'll find it difficult to find a stable match. Recovery frames are a bit messy, and the difficulty can spike at awkward moments. Many of the higher difficulty foes will just dash around trying to run out the clock. The whole game tends to feel like it could be better as a one-on-one fighter like the previous entries. The voice work is quite solid, with many voice actors reprising their roles both in Japanese and English. Again, this leads to a fun bit of fan service as well as a neat bit of nostalgia. The soundtrack is as solid as ever, and the new remixes definitely help carve out a more modern identity for this entry. The new remixed vocal track for Dissidia Arcade is great and a nice evolution of the main theme from the PSP games. I won't deny that I had fun in Dissidia NT, it's just that it's a bit short-lived. This is mainly due to a want for story progression and a subsequent burning out on the gauntlet modes. In short bursts it's fine, but long sessions just tend to grate on my nerves. It's a nice hit of nostalgia, but it's not like its own mechanics would get it to either. It's better as a one-on-one game and better as an arcade title. Right now it's a bit of a hot mess, which is a shame as most of this stems from the change to 3v3. So for that I'd say Dissidia NT is probably best enjoyed when you've waited for a sale. I hope you enjoyed that video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you'd like to see more from me, you can find me right here at GameCast as part of the review team, or over at Arisen Culture. Stay tuned to GameCast for more great gaming content.
I won't let anything stand in my way.